Alright, what's going on, guys? First off, I'd like to say thank you for stopping by the channel. This is my first video and my first Battlefield 2042 weapon review. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be going over the SWS-10 and my personal preferences for the attachments. So if you're interested, please stick around, leave a like, comment, subscribe. It's all greatly appreciated. Alright, so rolling into optics, I think without a doubt, the BKS-8X is the best scope to be using right now. Although I do think that the 6X and the 10X have both received a really good buff to what they were before. I think the mil dots on the 8X are probably the most valuable part of it and allow for a versatile gameplay style and the ability to accurately gauge your shots and accurately recreate shots when using them. The 10X after the patch is not too bad, but the personal preference that I have is not with that. And the 6X is nice. I think it was a huge upgrade from what it was because it used to just be two thin lines, but I almost think the center reticle is too big in my opinion to use over, I'd say even 100 meters. It kind of gets disoriented between the heads of the enemy and the actual reticle itself. Alright, so next we're obviously going to hit on magazines. I personally use high power rounds as my first spot for the sole fact that they have less bullet drop over distance. Now, I'll get into obviously the extended magazine and the benefits of that, but I think for myself personally, off the rip, I prefer to use high power rounds. I've used them so much, I know exactly where I need to aim with the 8X, with the 10X, with the 6X, so on and so forth. But I do understand that the extended magazine has a place, and for me it comes in handy. One little tip: if you run out of ammunition using one of them, you can switch to the other and it'll completely refill your ammo. But besides that point, especially playing on 64 versus 64 servers, having an extended magazine is, I think, without a doubt one of the most important things. That's why most people running, the meta ARs, even the LMGs at this point, are running extended mags. I think it allows for you to obviously engage more targets rapidly and have the ability to do as much damage as possible. Alright, so second to last, we're looking at the grips. Now, I personally run the Cobra grip or the LWG grip. They both do the same exact thing. They provide more accuracy while static. And if somebody wants to argue that accuracy while moving is more important, the gun literally shoots rounds to the left and right if you're moving. So if you're taking shots while moving, you're probably not going to hit what you think you are. So I'd rather have the accuracy while static and have that little bit less of sway. That's just my personal preference. The only reason I have two separate ones that do the same exact thing is the LWG grip, which for some reason is not showing up now. It does come with the hardware paint that is on the rifle, so the grip itself would be red, but the Cobra grip's black. There's really no actual difference between the two stat wise. I just personally sometimes like the difference between what paint is on them and what isn't. So rolling into the muzzle brakes, I think the Champion muzzle brake and the Wrap Suppressor are the two best options right now as the game stands. Now it's probably subject to change with updates to come. I know they're changing some suppressor stuff here or there, probably changing some of the muzzle brakes here and there, but as of now, these are my two favorite. Given the Champion muzzle brake, you gain vertical recoil control, and for the Wrap Suppressor, you don't show up on the minimap and your sounds are suppressed, just as all suppressors do, but you only lose 5 firepower when actually putting on the suppressor. That's still a 3 tap to the body, but 1 shot to the head at any distance. So before I let some of my clips roll, we're going to hit on the Specialist and my complete loadout I use. So Specialist, I obviously run Sundance 99% of the time. I know her mastery level isn't too high, but that's mostly because I don't use her smart explosives as much as I probably should. You can tell she obviously has a grenade belt, which when you throw one turns to multiple. I believe it's 6 to 8. Don't quote me on that. And then you have her wingsuit. I think the wingsuit is one of the most valuable specialists in the game. It gives you the ability to move, to change positions, to gain the advantage on an enemy or a position you're on with the simple click of a button. So rolling into the full loadout here, I usually use the MP28. I've cycled between all of them. The Glock's decent, and the MP44, I just do not have the aim to use it. Although, yeah, it's a 1 shot to the head from a decent distance, it's just not for me. The MP28 has high magazine capacity, pretty good fire rate, and the recoil spread on it while hip firing is insanely low, especially if you crouch. Next, obviously run the spawn beacon. Sometimes I run ammo pack. Depends on the playstyle I'm feeling that day or if my teammates are supplying it or not. I think the spawn beacon is a super useful and underused item in the game right now, especially with 64 versus 64 and so many air vehicles. You can get behind the enemy, you can flank, you can give your teammates a higher position. There's so much you can do with it, and I definitely do not see people utilizing it enough. For throwable, I use frag grenade instead of the spotting grenade. There's been more times where a frag grenade probably would have got me a kill or been more useful than the spotting grenades. I know for, you know, all of you out there for getting the XP and all this and that, like, sure, they're super good for that, but I honestly think a frag grenade is more useful in most situations that I run into. Now I'm going to let some of the clips play that I've hit so far with mix match of these loadouts. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed, please like, subscribe. If you have anything you'd change, leave it down below, and y'all have a good day. Bro, somebody clip that, please. Holy fuck them.